Tonight we're rocking 3 picks and we're not hiding them behind a paywall or a smoke machine. First, Andre Drummond over 8.5 rebounds at -115 in Suns versus Sixers. Second, Los Angeles Lakers -2.5 at -110 in Denver. Third, UCLA plus 5.5 at -110 at home versus Purdue. 3 plays, 3 different angles, 1 goal, get paid without doing anything that would make a statistics professor start crying in public. Let's start in Philly with the world's most predictable plot twist, a back-to-back, and Joel Embiid very likely taking the second night off. When Embiid sits, Andre Drummond stops being the backup big and turns into a full-time vacuum cleaner with elbows. The key number here is role-based production. In limited minutes, Drummond can still stumble into 8 boards like it's spare change in the couch, but when he starts and the minutes jump into the mid-20s or low 30s, his rebound rate doesn't politely scale, it explodes. The data we're working with has him averaging about 12.5 rebounds in starts this season, and our projection lands around 13 tonight. Compare that to a line of 8.5, and we've got a mismatch so clean it feels illegal. Add the back-to-back legs, which means more missed jumpers, which means more rebound opportunities, and we get the perfect ecosystem for a Drummond double-digit board party. We're taking over 8.5 rebounds and letting the rims do the rest. Now to Denver, Lakers -2.5. This number is basically asking us, do you think the healthier team with the working front court can win by 1.5 buckets? And we're answering yes with our full chest. Denver's injury situation isn't a bump, it's a sinkhole. If Nikola Jokic is out and Jonas Valanciunas is out, that's not next man up, that's next volunteer. And if Christian Braun is also out, that matters because Luka Doncic is not the type of problem you solve with positive thoughts and a firm handshake. The matchup math is brutal. Los Angeles has Luka, LeBron, and DeAndre Ayton all active, and Denver's interior is forced into patchwork minutes from undersized or inexperienced bigs, plus an Aaron Gordon who's managing a hamstring. The recent warning flare is the rebounding collapse Denver just showed, getting hammered on the glass and giving up a paint point buffet. That is exactly the recipe for a Lakers team that wants to play big, get to the rim, and live at the free throw line. Also, the altitude advantage is a lot less magical when the home team is the one running short-handed and heavy-legged. We're laying -2.5 with the Lakers because the path to a cover is simple: bully ball, rebounds, and free throws. Last one, UCLA plus 5.5 at home against Purdue. This is the classic perfect record meets perfect spot game, and the market usually overcharges for the shiny team. Purdue is awesome, no argument. They're 17-1, they defend, they rebound, they run an offense that looks like it was engineered in a lab. But the edge in betting is not who's better, it's what's priced in. The biggest missing ingredient in the number is Braden Smith's knee situation. He got banged up, admitted it wasn't good, and the timing matters. That stiffness window hits hardest about 1 to 2 days after the impact, which lines up uncomfortably well with this game. A compromised lead guard changes everything. Less burst turning the corner, less creation, and more vulnerability guarding quick UCLA ball handlers. Then we layer in the UCLA context. They've been a completely different animal at Pauley Pavilion, sitting at 10-1 at home, and they're in full bubble team playing like the rent is due mode. Mick Cronin also just lit into them after the last one, and historically his teams don't respond by playing softer. They respond by turning the game into a bar fight with a shot clock. That's good for us because fewer possessions means fewer chances for Purdue's efficiency to turn this into a runaway. Purdue can absolutely win, but plus 5.5 gives us room for a tight grinder, and our projection has this living in that 4-point range. We'll take the points and let the home urgency do some heavy lifting. Quick recap so nobody has to rewind. Drummond over 8.5 rebounds at -115. Lakers -2.5 at -110. UCLA plus 5.5 at -110. As always, we're betting numbers, not vibes. Although if vibes could rebound, Andre Drummond would average 15 a night. Bet responsibly, and let's have a night.